Okay, guys. So today what we're going to talk about is the appropriate behavior for Edmodo. Remember that I told you guys that we will be using Edmodo several times throughout the year, throughout the semester in different courses as far as I'm concerned, to turn in assignments, to share notes, to do discussions, um, to watch videos. We're going to be using it as an educational forum. So what this video talks about is how I would like you guys to conduct yourselves when using Edmodo. The main thing that I want you guys to remember about Edmodo is that Edmodo is an educational website. It is not a social media site. Once again, it is an educational website, not a social media site. This is not Facebook. This is not Instagram. This is not Snapchat. This is not Twitter. This is not anything that you guys communicate with socially back and forth in leisure time. Okay? This is to be used for educational purposes only. Okay. I do know that you guys do have a social aspect because we will be doing discussions, and there are going to be times when you are going to talk to your fellow classmates on Edmodo. But I definitely want you to reserve the discussions that you have in Edmodo for educational conversations. So, for example, these things are not permitted. Okay. And I pulled a couple of these from my classes from previous years. Idle comments like, my boots smell like dolphin butt. Man, I hate that smell. Ugh. Unnecessary. Taken by Jesus. We praise God for that, but we don't want that on Edmodo. Unnecessary. If we still having that roast sesh, will not be happening on Edmodo. We are going to talk about that later when it talks about how you guys should entreat your classmates, but definitely not starting up a roast session on Edmodo. Bring my glasses to school tomorrow, DJ. Next time, call. Um, Y'all should have came to the jamboree. It was lit. And then they proceeded to have a discussion. For real. I know. I have heard it was good. I have heard it was good now. And saw it on Snap. I regret missing it. Okay, once again. Unnecessary, idle conversation. This gentleman is asking for another person to once again bring items to him that he has loaned out. These things will not be going on Edmodo. My life is a movie. Kevin Gates' voice. Not needed. Please make sure that the conversations and the discussions that you have on Edmodo are for educational purposes only. For educational purposes only. I do not want this going on Edmodo. And I do have a feature in my tools in which I can lock you out, which means that it can be read only just for you. You will not be able to post. You will not be able to comment. Now, unfortunately, that will be bad for you because you have assignments due where you need to post, where you need to comment. So please do not, do not, do not, do not, do not misuse your privileges. Okay? You should ask your classmates about assignments. You may definitely ask about assignments for my classes. I do not mind you asking about assignments for other classes. So you may ask classmates about assignments. Be nice to one another and help each other out. In this particular example, you have a student that is asking if there are debates for tomorrow, and a student telling her that I know you saw that it was next Friday. You need to read. Unpleasant, not necessary. Again, this same student asking for help. Classmates, I need y'all help on how to do this article. I left my paper, meaning she left her guidelines. I need the structure on how to do it. Call me or post it or something. this student, same one, you should have gotten your paper. Nobody help her. Sorry. Once again, unnecessary. We will not be rude to each other on Edmodo. We will treat each other with respect. If your classmate asks a question and you have the answer, post a reply. Call them. Let them know that you have the information they need. Do not be ugly to each other online. Once again, I will lock your privileges and you will lose them for a time period and points as well. The last thing that I'm going to talk about very quickly on this video is asking questions. Now, you can ask me questions here. Remember, I also told you in a previous video that you can ask me questions privately through Edmodo, and I showed you how to do that. Please reference that video to do so. But when I say ask me questions, you may ask them, but please use scholarly language consisting of complete sentences and words. That should be with everything that we do on Edmodo. When you talk to your classmates, when you talk to me, when you post an assignment, when you post discussion, you should be using complete sentences and words, and you should be using scholarly language. Mrs. Reynolds, you still gonna bust them slides on here. It is not an example of scholarly language. Okay, let's go back up to the top where we have this particular student. You should have gotten your UR paper. Nobody help her. Sorry. Once again, this same student, if we go back up, no, I know, KNO, lowercase I, U, just the letter U. This is not scholarly language. This is more shorthand text versation. Please remember that this is not a social media site. You are not texting. Now, I do know that Edmodo can be accessed from your phone. I once had a student turn in an entire paper on Edmodo using this type of language because they text off of their phone. Please do not do this. You will not receive credit. If you post this way in a discussion, you will not receive credit. Make sure that you are using scholarly language and complete sentences when you are utilizing Edmodo. Okay? If you have any other questions, you guys, feel free to ask me in class. Let's make sure that we are using Edmodo in the right way that is appropriate for us to learn. All right?